All right, guys, welcome back to the Everything College Football Podcast. Today we're going to be breaking down Week 4 in college football. Another wild week it was. Multiple upsets, multiple ranked teams went down. A lot to sort out, so kicking things off, Wisconsin 13, Notre Dame 41. This was a close ball game going into the fourth. Wisconsin had the lead. The 96-yard Chris Tyree kickoff return touchdown really sparked things open for the Irish. They went on 31-3 run in the fourth quarter, put this one away. I'm not really interested in watching Graham Mertz play football anymore. It's just his ceiling's kind of reached. Doesn't make good decisions whatsoever. 5 more turnovers in this one. 2 pick sixes late. I don't know what to say. It's kind of easy for Notre Dame to stop the run. Any team to stop the run when you don't have any respect for the quarterback playing you. He just doesn't make good decisions. He's not accurate at all. They have to go in another direction at quarterback, especially when he got outplayed by the guy. They picked over him. Cohen played a very good game. They had a lot of success on the boundaries, throwing the ball, including that big touchdown with Kelvin Austin. The Irish, they couldn't run the ball either. Their offensive line wasn't great. I don't know how many sacks they gave up. Must have been like 4 or 5 at least. So there's they played a lot better than I anticipated them to, though. Of course, they gave up a lot of sacks and they couldn't run the ball, but they were able to hold in up at times and allowed Cohen to make plays down the field. So, 3 rushing yards for Notre Dame. That wasn't good. Another wasted effort from the Badgers defense. So these guys played very good. They were leading in the fourth quarter. It's just their quarterback is not the answer at Wisconsin. I'm afraid to say. Big win for Notre Dame, though. This has got to help them morally too. Their defense has been getting better and better each and every week. They were able to stand up the Badger running game, and of course, even though Mertz is not very good, they still were able to capitalize off his mistakes, turn him into points. So, got to give that point to him. Looking at Missouri and Boston College, this was an offensive slugfest throughout the game. Missouri's run defense is just terrible. They give him another 275 in this game. Pat Garwo, 175, 2 scores. He ran wild. Tyler Beatty, a great all-around performance from him. Connor Blaslick, he looked good as well, other than 2 bad interceptions that costed him in this game. I think Boston College, they might be okay. I figured they would run the ball pretty well in this game because they still have a great offensive line. Missouri's defense is just not very stout right now. Dennis Grissel, though, I'm not really a big fan of his, but he was able to get it to Zay Flowers often. He accounted for almost 50% of his completions. He's able to get it to his guys, and they ran the ball very well. They won 41-34 in overtime. They improved to 4-0. Missouri falls to 2-2 with another close heartbreaker. LSU 28, Mississippi State 25. Mississippi State had 15 points in that final frame. This game was not that close as the score indicates. It was they were up 3 scores at one point. Max Johnson played a pretty good game, 284 touchdowns. They did a pretty solid job of running the ball too. TDP got going. He had 51 yards on just 13 carries for the game. They had 343 yards, and then they ran the ball only for 63. But they did. This is a good defense they're playing against. Davis Price is able to make some plays to convert the chains. Keishon Boutte. He had 4 grabs for nearly 100 yards and 2 scores. Him and that Max Johnson connection are pretty lethal, I must say. The Tigers, they're able to force turnovers, though. They were playing with heart. They forced 2 turnovers. They were playing. That was the biggest question coming in this game: is does LSU's defense still want to play football? They showed it. There's multiple times where they stopped guys in their tracks, didn't let them pick up extra yards or fight for more. Mississippi State late, though. Coverage busts were 2 of the touchdowns for Will Rogers. It might have been even the third. I don't remember all 3, but I know 2 of them were on coverage busts. These guys still don't really understand their assignments. And, good thing I guess it was late and not for 60 minutes, because that wasn't the case. I thought their secondary held up pretty well throughout the game. A high-volume passing attack, though, came away with their yards. 47 completions for 371 yards. That's pretty good, I'd say, for LSU's defense. I think they held up pretty well. But, plenty of things they need to figure out because coverage busts, they can't be having those throughout the year. SMU ran for 350 yards. Their balanced attack scored in every single quarter. TCU's defense has just not been very good right now. Again, their passing attack still a little inconsistent with Max Duggan. They lost that game. Sioux, the Mustangs, very good offense. It's going to be fun to watch them throughout the year with Tanner Mordecai coming over. And then, the run for 350 yards, that was pretty impressive. Looking at the mid-afternoon slate, you had NC State finally beat Clemson. 2 overtimes took them to get done. The Clemson offense is just not good at all. 2 for 11 on third downs, 10 first downs for the game. Only had 214 yards. Their defense played 96 snaps NC State, I think Devin Leary played a very good game. Got it to his guys. He had 4 touchdowns. He had all their scores. Able to get it to his guys in the soft zone. The running backs, they had almost 150 yards. It was under 3 yards per carry for the game, but they were constantly in second and third and shorts. They had 31 first downs of their own. They only had 386 total yards, though, and this defense played 96 snaps for Clemson. This offense did them 0 favors. They had 7 straight 3-and-outs at one point. This Ugalele will throw a slant route, nowhere even near the pass catcher. These guys have 0 rhythm. They had a great first drive, though. They went 80 yards to Justin Ross for an 80-yard drive, and then they had a touchdown capped off by Justin Ross to finish that up. Other than that, though, after they had no yards, no nothing. I just don't really know what to say. They're just incredibly embarrassing on offense. Tony Elliott might be fighting for his job here because this defense is really good. And, I mean, they give up only 386 yards on 96 snaps because you're on the field that much. That was really impressive. 31 first downs is also a great number for NC State. But I think they handled the challenge very well. They only give up 14 points in regulation, and then overtime they kind of had their backs against the wall. Both teams heavily penalized, 13 for Clemson, 11 for NC State. But the Tigers, they need to figure out their offense. It's not going to be improved imminently. There's 0 progress being showed whatsoever. They can't move the ball at all. It doesn't matter who they play. Because they weren't great when they played an FCS school a few weeks ago either. So I don't really know what to say about the Tigers' offense. But moving to Arkansas, as they topped at Texas A&M. 2 big passing plays, an 85-yarder to Treylon Burks. They had another 47-yarder where the Aggies forgot how to tackle. Even after KJ Jefferson went out in the second half, he didn't really play much. I don't think they threw any passes in the second half, really. Knowles, the backup, came in because Jefferson hurt his knee. But they didn't let up. They only had 3 points in that second half. But I thought they were pretty conservative with their playing call. I thought they handled it very well. They weren't stonewalled. They picked up some first downs. They were able to flip field. And they were able to still control the trenches. Outside of Isaiah Spiller breaking loose for a 67-yarder, this offense was held up. The Aggies' offense was held entirely in check. They couldn't really run the ball. Zach Calzada, he's afraid to make throws in the zone. Also misses open pass catchers. I watched him against Colorado and felt the same way. Same thing here. He's just not. It's not like he doesn't make terrible decisions. He just doesn't make one that positively impact the football team. He doesn't. There was a replay they showed a couple of times where Watermeyer's wide open in the zone and kills out a tucks and runs instead. It's just you're not going to win football like that. He's just not making good plays. Great win for the Razorbacks, though. Their defense, what was it, a 9-game winning streak the Aggies were on. Their defense really stepped up and played very well because this is still a good offensive line they were playing. Trey Williams had a great day. I don't know the stats, but he was constantly in the backfield, even against Kenyon Green. He was making plays. This newly revamped front for Arkansas. This is the real deal. They'll get ready to take on Georgia. Very diverse in the trenches. KJ Jefferson, when they have him on the field, they're a tough offense to contain. I mean, they had 17 points in the first, less than 20 minutes. So, and then this is a good defense they played. In the second half, if they probably would have ran it up a little bit if Jefferson was still in there. Who knows? But this offense is certainly capable of things. Even though they had a lackluster second half, they were able to hold on after the momentum change because Isaiah Spiller had this 67-yarder. They were only up 7 points at that point. Midway through the third, they were able to hang on. They didn't get flustered whatsoever. Very good win from Sam Pittman's football team. Iowa State and Baylor. Baylor's offense, my biggest question mark for them coming into this game is they haven't played anybody all year. The offense looked great. It's very encouraging stuff, regardless of who you're playing. But they haven't played nobody. They looked phenomenal in the first half. They went up and down the field multiple times on this defense. And, of course, in typical Matt Campbell fashion, they got shut down in the second half. Their only touchdown was on a Tristan Ebner kickoff return. They also had a field goal in the fourth. Iowa State, it was too much to handle. Brees Hall had 192 scores. They made too many mistakes. I know Purdy had a bad interception when they were driving down the field. And they just weren't able to capitalize. They had much more yards in this game. They were better on third down, I'd say. They were 3 of 3 on fourth downs too. They weren't able to win late. Baylor had much more penalties. Iowa State was probably the better team by far in the second half, but for the first half, their defense got a little too rubbed up. In Baylor, they have a good defense themselves. That's really all the Bears had to do was get a lead, and their defense is really good. and they were able to step up on that final 2-point conversion attempt there for the Cyclones. Baylor kept them out of the end zone there, but this is one Iowa State's going to want it back. They had plenty of opportunities to make things happen, almost 500 yards, and not even 300 for Baylor, and they had a hot start. So, I mean, 31-29 Baylor at home. Tough blow for the Cyclones, though, coming into this year, expected to be a top contender in the conference. I think they still are, but this is a big blow for them. North Carolina, they lost to Georgia Tech 45-22. Their defense is still an issue, it appears. Georgia Tech playing really good football because they took Clemson down to the wire, despite Clemson's struggles. That's still an impressive performance for this football team, still undergoing a lot of changes. Kansas State, they were blasted by Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State found their offense. Spencer Sanders threw for almost 350. Jalen Warren ran for $123. What a massive performance from this. It's a good defense they're playing. They held Deuce Vaughn completely in check. They won this game 31-20, but it was 31-13. I think they had a touchdown in garbage time, but it was not close whatsoever. Very impressive stuff from the Cowboys. Georgia State almost knocked off Auburn. There's a questionable call there late in the game that allowed Auburn to continue their long drive downfield. TJ Finley came in for Bo Nix, who was benched. Let him on a 99-yard drive to end the game. Also had a great play on 4th and 9 where he evaded, hit a spin move, threw it into the end zone. Just a phenomenal play from him. So Auburn, they had a pick six late to make the difference a little bigger, but it wasn't that close. Georgia State led the entirety of the game, actually, so close win there for Harsin and crew. You look at Michigan State, Nebraska, battle-tested as they come. 5 total yards for Michigan State in the second half. A Jalen Red punt return touchdown tied things up, sent it to overtime. Chester Kimbrough had a deep interception return in overtime. Almost housed a pick 6 for the win. To walk it off. Didn't quite get there. Regardless, Michigan State, they lined up, kicked the game-winning field goal from after starting out the 25. So they were able to survive. Their offense completely disappeared in the second half. They're playing a good defense, but it's not that good of a defense. So I don't know how that happened. They only had five yards. They didn't have a single first down. So that they avoided the scare there. They stay undefeated. Michigan 20-13 on Rutgers. Rutgers really ran the ball pretty well. In Michigan, they didn't. I wouldn't say they put up great numbers in this game. Rutgers is a really good football team under Greg Schiano, though. They're going to be battling people all year. Blake Corum was held in check, only 68 yards. K. McNamara did what he was supposed to. But 112 rushing on 38 carries. That's kind of eye-popping. This is a good Rutgers front seven, though. But they're certainly going to have to do better in that, especially when they start playing the heavyweights of the conference. Wisconsin, for example, they play Oklahoma, 16, West Virginia, 13. Spencer Rattler still struggling with this offense. They can't run the ball at all. The offensive line's not playing very good at all. Their defense is the real deal, though. They continue to bail out this horrid offense. Will they get it figured out? I don't really know. They have plenty of weapons, a great quarterback. But again, if your offensive line's sluggish, it's going to be hard to do anything. That's the problem for Oklahoma right now. Rattler is not making good decisions. Can't really see the field that well. Again, they can't run the ball. Liddy Brown for 56 yards was the team's leading rusher, or the game's leading rusher, that is. West Virginia completely stonewalled the Sooners. So Oklahoma, how long can their defense hold up while their offense keeps trying to find their footing? I'm not sure. But they stay undefeated. It's nice. You're not losing games while you're still trying to figure it out. I think they will eventually. It's a veteran offensive line, 3 seniors, and Andrew Ram's a nice little center there. Freshman guy they put in, Chris Murphy coming over as a transfer. They have a couple different rotations they can roll out with. I think Oklahoma will figure it out. But I don't know. It's kind of up in the air right now. Because Oklahoma in the past, they've shown they can lose to anybody. I think they got Kansas State next. And I think they play them in Manhattan on Saturday, and they've beat them twice in a row. So it's going to be a game to watch. Texas, they dropped 70 on Texas Tech. What a game. Casey Thompson, I don't know why he wasn't the starter to begin with in the year. He had 5-6 touchdowns, something crazy. Bijan Robinson had a great game as well. They completely blew out Texas Tech. Boise State, 27-3 over Utah State. Utah State made so many mistakes in this game, it makes 0 sense. They weren't playing a very good defense. In my opinion, they haven't been a great defense this year. Boise State has really shot themselves in the foot throughout the game. 443 yards of offense, only 3 points. Just ridiculous. 3 total turnovers. They had 13 penalties. Just sloppy at home from Utah State, an undefeated team. I picked them to win this game and to score a lot of points, and it's pretty embarrassing. if they didn't make as many mistakes, they would have had a lot more points. Logan Bonner, though, wasn't very good in this game. Boise, though, this offense is nice. They started to run the ball a little bit better. They're putting Khalil Shakur in the backfield, getting him on end arounds, wildcat, lining him up at running back. So I like what they're starting to do. Andy Avalos is to get this running game going a little bit. They had a numerous amount of guys who got carries. I think it was like 6 or 7 different guys touched the football as a runner. So they're starting to figure that out. How long that lasts, not sure, but you got to respect the versatility they're trying to bring to the table, and they're trying to figure it out. UCLA topped Stanford 35-24. Tanner McKee had a great game, 293, 3 scores, but UCLA ran the ball very well, 200+. Zach Charbonnet had a $118, a score. They had 3 touchdowns on the ground. DTR pitched in. Brandon Brown had some nice runs. So that's going to wrap everything up from today's episode. Just a quick breakdown from college football on Saturday. A massive week 5 is ahead of us, so make sure you subscribe, leave a like. Stay tuned for that content that's coming up, and see you guys next time.